Breaking news happened overnight in the East Bay. Church property in Concord that caught fire last week has sparked up in flames again. It all happened at the Church of the Nazarene. KRONon's Yoli Aceves covered the story when the fire first broke out last week. She's there again today with breaking details. Yoli.
Yeah, the investigators just came out and told us that this fire, this second fire that started at midnight, was intentional. They are ruling it as arson. Now, they said that just behind this building, they found two areas where they were there was an attempt on trying to put this building on fire, but it wasn't very successful. And internally, there was definitely one that was successful, unfortunately, and burned most of the items that were inside this building here at the church, Christ of Church Community Church. This is also known as the First Church of Nazarene. It's a big complex, and last week, like you mentioned, last Thursday, there was a bigger fire that happened in a building, and that was deemed that it was caused by human activity, but they couldn't tell whether it was done intentionally or not. But this fire today, definitely intentional. Concord police were patrolling the area. They spotted the fire. They also were able to catch up with somebody connected to this fire who's being detained right now. He is a person who has a record of criminal activity and also a transient. So they are questioning that person right now, possibly responsible for this arson. In the meantime, this is not as big as a fire as last week, but definitely much more impactful because inside the building they had important documents, historical books, and other items. And I know I spoke to the pastor just about maybe 20 minutes ago, and she was definitely distraught because of the items that were burnt in this building. So it is now deemed arson. They do have someone detained. Back to you.
Yoli, you said that this is a really big kind of complex here with different buildings. So the actual church, has that burned, or is this just one of the outer buildings that, like you said, holds a bunch of different documents?
Well, this particular building was split in two. So the front part of it is the office, and the back side of it is the chapel. Now, their sanctuary, which is over here, it's the bigger one that looks more what we would think as a church right here. This is still standing. No fire got to it, but there might be possible damage just from smoke that seeped over into the sanctuary. So but it's still standing. And this whole complex is in transition only because it was sold to a developer, and it's actually most of these buildings are going to get knocked down so that lower income housing can be developed. But still, you know, even though that this is in that's why all their documents and a lot of things were stored in the office here, because Church of Christ Community Church, they are in transition and they're still waiting to see where their next location is. So they were storing a lot of important items in this building, and unfortunately a lot of it has been damaged.
That is really, really upsetting. I see that, of course, fire crews are still out there investigating and cleaning up. Yoli, thank you for that live report. We'll continue to follow up on this as the day goes on. Another big story we are following, California.